this meeting. Remind people that this is being audio and video recorded. I will seek a motion to approve the agenda.
Aye.
Thank you, Meryl. And
What am I technically supposed to say? I approve the motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda for the minutes, and then whoever then somebody would second.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then go around for approval.
Right.
Okay.
I'm so glad you asked that question, Meryl. I'm just following your lead.
Yeah, I always try to be formal in requesting a motion for that. So I heard Meryl make that motion. Nikki, do I have a second?
I approve. Yep.
Okay. And all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the agenda is good. We'll move on to the minutes from August 17th. I would accept a motion to approve those minutes. Hello?
I'll approve the motion to approve.
Okay, so you make that motion, Nikki.
I'll make that motion to approve, yes.
Okay,
and I second that.
By Meryl, thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? And that carries. Thank you. And now, do we have Marina on?
Oh.
Okay.
She is
connecting now.
Okay.
She's joining.
Good. Hello, Marina. Marina, are you with us?
I asked her to unmute, but
Okay.
she may be.
Yep. I'm going to move forward and ask Lisa to speak to the request to use the Athenaeum. Lisa, it's all yours.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm just here to get approval for the 22nd turkey plunge. We have used Children's Beach the last 22 years and are hoping to do so again this year. It's going to be on Thanksgiving, so Thursday, November 23rd, and we expect around 800 to 900 people. It really depends on the weather. If it's a warm day, it's probably a little bit more. If it's super cold, probably less. But yeah, I submitted the application, very similar to past years, no changes. We're not going to do the tent this year. So that's something we've taken away. And otherwise, everything is still the same. I'm open to any questions.
Any questions by any commissioners?
Not for me. I've been and seen it. Never get in it. But
I think it's something we've all enjoyed, and I don't see, David, are there any conflicts? I can't imagine that we would have any.
No, we're good. Everything's quiet there.
Okay. And Lisa, I would imagine the plunge being what it is after 20 plus years, guys are pretty much on top of advertising and using social media. I think Shanta would probably join and say she'd be happy to help you in any way.
Great. Yeah, we it's our fundraiser for the children's library. So yeah, any help in getting the word out. We also have the virtual option this year. So trying to connect with people who are off island, but they can plunge wherever they are in the world and send us videos. And so that's been really fun too, kind of keeping Nantucket top of mind for people, even if they're not here during the holidays. So Yeah.
Okay. And Marina, I see you. You want to add anything to this request?
Sorry, I couldn't hear Lisa talking because I had some computer issues. So just working with other departments, we would have to work with DPW just to ensure they usually ask beach to be raked prior to the event. So I believe usually bathrooms closed and water shut down for the season. That's why they require to provide their own portable restrooms, which been done in the past. And they would have to work with Harbor Master Sheila Lucy, making sure they have lifeguards on site. I believe Coast Guards usually involved, make sure everyone is safe in the water. And street blocking permit to be submitted. They will have police details like in the previous years, just making sure to work with all other departments, but we can do it after Park and Rec review and approval, so we'll get it done. I'm not sure if there were any discussion about food trucks, but I had a conversation today. So technically, no food trucks allowed at Children's Beach while concession is in operation, and as well, it's a downtown district, historic district. So usually per our policy, no food trucks in downtown district. So there was some conversation about bringing food truck to that event.
Okay, Lisa, are you on board? Do you have any questions on any of that?
I don't think so. I think the food truck was something that we kind of floated by last year and never came to fruition. And so I think we're okay if that's not approved. I mean, we thought it could be a fun addition, but if it's no, it's a no. And yeah, and I've just in past years worked really closely with Marina on getting all of those other pieces of the puzzle together. So we'll do that in the coming weeks.
Okay, sounds great. Any other questions? Then I will ask for a motion to approve this request. Thank you, Nikki. A motion, and then Meryl, you'll
I
second.
second
Thank you.
that.
And all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Lisa, you've got it, and
Okay.
good luck. And I
Thank
hope
you.
it'll be a moderate day.
Thank you so much. And I'll be in touch, Marina, with next steps. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Marina, that's it from you on the agenda?
I think we may have lost her again.
Okay,
And yes, she did just have the one item tonight or
Yeah.
today.
okay. Charlie, we'll turn things over to you.
Sure. So just a reminder,
she's
we've
back.
got we've got the Nobody Field expansion project up at special town meeting. Looks like it's going to be Article 10, which I believe is going to be after the STR article. So it could be towards the end of the night. We'd love to have as much support as we can in the building to get that kind of pushed through. That's the first domino in all kind of future Parks and Rec items there. I actually sat down the other day and kind of laid out a timeline of all the work kind of in the pipeline out to about 2029. So there's a lot there.
That's unfortunate that it's after the STR, isn't it?
Yeah, I was hoping it might come before, but I guess because the purpose of the special town meeting is the short-term rental stuff, that's why that is going first.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to all of our supporters. I'm thinking in particular the parents, coaches that helped us get it back on the warrant to be there that night, and that means wading through the STR. But you have those connections now, Charlie, that we could send something out reminding people.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in contact, with Justin Quinn and Jill Veith, a lot of, over the past few weeks about it, and I'll certainly be reminding, coaches and everybody else. This is a better opportunity for us to have people in the house on it's gonna be on a Tuesday night in November than on a Saturday in was it late April, when everybody who's using the fields is out at the fields.
Yeah.
So we should hopefully get a lot of support in the building. We get people to come in and stick around. So we did get the yes on the ballot, which is a big part of this. So this is just the second piece, and then I guess if we get the approval, we will jump off, I think literally the next day, starting to work towards getting this project rolling.
Great. I have a question, Charlie. Do we have anything in writing that we can possibly share? Because I know a lot of people who would go if I tell them about it. But is there anything that that is in writing that I can share with them?
As far as just like what we're looking to do, or
yeah, just like maybe like on social media, just put something out there and just say, look, we're looking for support on this. But just obviously with the right wording and stuff. I don't just want to put it out on my Facebook page and be like, hey, make sure you get to the town meeting or I'll kill you, something, with
I can work on something that I can send around to the commissioners, and then we might be able to have the commission put forward onto social media, kind of like we did with the letter that we sent around to the coaches before.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we need that 1-page blurb that is succinct and explains. And I don't know if we have to also speak to the issues that came up last time, or whether we just talk about what this will allow us to do.
Yeah, hopefully, we've addressed a lot of those, issues. Hopefully, been addressed. The fields look great. I don't know if any of you have been out to see them recently, but we're looking good. I'm in the process right now of finalizing having a company come out to service the synthetic turf, even though it's not really on the topic of this project. It seems to kind of poke up and people want to know about it. So I'm in the process of finalizing procurement there to have a company come out and do a full service where they'll basically vacuum up the field, re-level all the infill. They're going to disinfect it and then perform the GMAX test, which is this steel missile that they drop with sensors, and it measures the levels of compaction around the field, and it's supposed to simulate how a head would react to the field to make sure that it's got enough bounce, sort of a thing, and that kind of dictates the health of the field is that report.
So I think what we want is a 1-pager, as Nikki suggests, that goes and explains why we need people to come out and vote, and then we need you or the commissioners to have a page responding to any anticipated questions when we're at the meeting, because that's what hurt us last time.
I can do a page of talking points that everyone can have. So, if somebody asks a question, that anyone would be able to stand up and answer with, Jill said she will stand up, as the finance committee. And I know I talked to Linda Williams extensively just after the town meeting, and she said she would stand up for this. This time as well. So hopefully we'll get a lot of support. I
met with Mr. Brannigan Sr., who has expressed concerns about the Delta fields in the past. And I asked him to go out and take a look at them now. I said that may have been a problem in the past, but I encourage you to come see, because things have been done. And so he said he would, and it would be nice if somebody who was perhaps a skeptic or negative would say, I've turned around on this issue. Yeah,
that would be very helpful. He was one of the ones that stood up at the town meeting. So
wouldn't that be Linda? Excuse me. Wouldn't that be Linda?
Well, it'd be Linda and Mr. Brannigan both spoke against it. And so Linda has said that she, after she and I spoke in the spring, she said she would stand up for it again. And then this is Mike is saying he's talked to Mr. Brannigan and asked him to go out and take a look at the fields and hopefully to address some of the questions and concerns that he raised about. I believe he was concerned about the irrigation system and the fields not being properly maintained.
Yeah. I think the other thing that's helped, Charlie, is that you've really promoted working with the schools and getting the schools out there to use those fields when they've tried to, balance the use of their own fields. So
Yeah, that kind of leads me to my next
yeah,
next bullet point there. So I don't know if we talked about it at the August meeting, but we hosted Nantucket, the varsity and junior varsity, the high school soccer teams, both on the AstroTurf and the grass fields at Nobodier for their preseason. Before, at the end of August, they had some work done to their fields at the school. The fields weren't ready. And so we were able to help them out with practice time leading up to their preseason. And we are currently hosting Cyrus Pierce School, and the middle school boys and girls are practicing over at the Delta Fields for this fall season. I guess they were out of space and having trouble finding practice time for them, and so we were able to fill that need with those fields, which just goes to show that we do need we've got a full house in the fall now with them, and so having more fields will help, because the idea of the expansion with all this is that you have one field, grass field, in a state of rest. So you start a rotation, so you don't overworking the field, which is what the school would like to have, but they don't have the space to do. So as we construct and build forward, the idea would be to be able to take a field offline and nobody, or give it a year where it's not being used but being maintained and worked, in the next year cycle around. It's a way to really promote nice, healthy, natural grass fields. Yeah, so that's kind of it for everything I have. I did meet with Mike, you're on mute. I did meet with a company today about out in Tom Nevers about kind of rehabilitating the old inline skating rink out there, and putting some quotes together and some ideas as to how I can transform that. So hopefully that will be something I can bring forward and share with you all in the October meeting.
Great, that's awesome. I noticed the fields look good out there too. I've been down there quite a bit in the last week, and it looks so good down there.
The baseball field is doing a lot better. That well was down early this spring, that one, so that's back up and running. And as soon as we got that back online and we got its summer fertilization, it greened right up and took off. The softball field currently, we just replaced the well controller. Well ran for about a week. Now for some reason it's not running, so we're waiting to have either the electrician or the well company come back out to take a look at that, which is triggering me to work on getting those fields connected. There are two separate wells out there, one that runs each field, and I'm going to work to get those lines connected so that if we do have a well go down, we can throw a couple valves and keep everything going should we have an issue in the future. And that will be the plan going forward for both the Delta and the Nobodier fields, to get supplemental wells drilled, installed. So if something does go down, we don't have what happened a few years ago where we can't get a wellhead and the field goes dry and dies off in the summer, and we're kind of starting over from scratch.
Yeah. Great.
I didn't know about any of the inline skating. I guess that predates me. Merrill, were you around when they had that out at Tom Nevers?
Was that like the hockey? Is that what you mean by inline skating?
Yeah, so they had the roller hockey rink out there.
Yeah,
no,
I knew about that. I mean, not
which is all privately funded and was used quite heavily before the hockey rink was built.
Yeah.
And then once they used the hockey rink, they'd done the outdoor rink, because all the guys and girls that played hockey out here had nothing. But as soon as they were actually able to get on ice, everything kind of shifted out there, and so it's kind of fallen into disrepair over the last 20 years. As you can imagine, something that just sits out in the salt air would. And so we're looking at a way to revamp that, not an extreme cost, but hopefully to bring it back with a multi-use surface for possibly pickleball, basketball, maybe tennis, probably line it for about 3 sports. And then, there are a few people out there who do still go out and skate and like to shoot a puck around. So we will build the boards back, because it's also a great place for people to bring young kids where, if they're learning to ride a bike or learning to roller skate, you kind of pen them in that rink. And so if you don't turn around, then all of a sudden they're heading down, Tom Nevers Road. So it'll be hopefully a great multi-use space. You get it kind of refurbished and looking new and get a lot of use out of it.
Great. I don't see anything else on the agenda. Are there any questions or concern from any of the commissioners? No?
Not for me.
Okay.
No.
I would-
Here,
Excuse me, Mike, before you adjourn or
Yeah.
look for a motion, I would just suggest that the commissioners take a look at the article that I included in the packet. Sorry, it was short notice today. And then you'll see the exact wording on what is going to be
right.
discussed and hopefully approved at the town meeting. But also for next month to come with some very specific ideas that you want on the 1-pager. So
Yeah.
we include all of your thoughts, as what you'd like to see on that.
So that's a good idea. Thank you very much for reminding us. And our next meeting as we look forward, Maureen?
Is in October. I think it's the 19th. That would be the 3rd Thursday.
Yep.
And so
Okay.
that's, 2 weeks, 2+ weeks before the town meeting.
Okay, that's good. That gives us time to do what you asked, and I think that works out well.
And enough time to put it out there. We can talk
Yeah.
to Florencia and Haley, who are the town communication staff, to put that out on various forms of social media as well.
Sounds good.
Great.
Okay, absent any more questions, I think I would accept a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Oh,
Second.
second.
Thank you. And I appreciate that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank
Aye.
you.
Sorry, I was taking notes.
Thank you all. Charlie, thank you for your work.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Marina,
Thank you.
Maureen, thank you too.
Thank you, Meryl, for
Have a great
taking
day, everyone.
notes.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.